Hey y'all, Melissa of Melly Sews with you today, and today's project is going to be how to create a puff sleeve on a shirt that has a fitted sleeve. This is an easy pattern hack that you can do to basically any pattern. I am doing this today on my Verbena pattern, and I've got the link to this pattern below, and then I'm going to show you how I changed it to get this kind of sleeve instead. Let's look at how to modify the pattern. So I have a scale version of the sleeve pattern in front of me, and I'm using my Verbena dress pattern, and you can see that I have drawn 5 lines across the sleeve cap. Now, the exact placement of those lines isn't particularly important. Even the exact number isn't super duper important. The important part is that however many lines, I would suggest 3 to 5, no more, no less. The lines need to be evenly spaced from each other and evenly spaced from the arm side points. So those are the important things. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to cut the sleeve right on those lines. And what I'm going to do now is I want to spread these apart. So if I only wanted to have the extra room in the sleeve at the bottom, like a bishop sleeve, I would do it like this, and I would spread it apart, each one equal distance across the bottom, and that would create extra volume there. But since I also want a puff sleeve here, I'm going to need to spread them at the top as well. So I'm going to start by taping this kind of top center piece in place. And I'm aligning the bottom edges here with the edge of my paper. And then I'm going to space them each a consistent amount. So on this scale one here, we'll do 3/8 of an inch. On my actual pattern, I did 3/4 of an inch. You can do more, you can do less. The more you do, the puffier it will be. Make sure that you keep your pieces in the correct order as you're spacing them out. Now, this last piece, I'm going to space it 3/8 of an inch like the rest of them, but then notice how this tilts in. I'm actually going to space it 3/8 of an inch and then as much as I need to get this outer edge to be parallel, with that arm side point and the lower edge, so a little bit more. Okay, see how this is parallel to that gap now? I'm going to tape that in place. And that's just going to add a little bit extra around the bottom of the arm here. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I want the top edge and the outer corner lined up. And then I want parallel to that arm side point. All right, so this is what my blown up pattern piece is going to look like. And I'm going to cut it out. And as I cut along here, I'm just gonna kind of smooth this curve. So you'll notice that I've added a teeny bit extra right here to help smooth that out. And you don't have to freehand this. You can use a French curve to just kind of draw that smooth curve in. And any little extra bits that stick out below the edge of the hem here, I'm going to cut those off. So here is what my pattern piece will look like, and it might be easier to see. You can see it compared to the original one, it is quite a bit spread out. The other thing I need to do is I need to make a band for the bottom of the sleeve. So what I want to do for that is I want to measure, and I probably should have done this before I cut it apart, but I want to measure the original width of the bottom of this sleeve. Okay, so on this scale drawing, the original width was 5 3/8, or sorry, 5 3/4. And so what I'm going to do is I'm also going to make a sleeve band piece, and I'm going to draw that out to 5 3/4 and square it off. And this sleeve band piece, I'm not gonna add a seam allowance because my original sleeve had a seam allowance. If your sleeves did not have seam allowances already on them, you would need to add them before you cut out your fabric. So here are my two pattern pieces. This is gonna be the bottom sleeve band, and here is going to be the top. Let's look at how to sew these up. So the first thing I've gone ahead and done to my sleeve pattern piece here is I sewed a line of basting stitches to the sleeve cap in order to gather it. And what I did was I sewed along here, and then I stitched across this way, and then back down. What that does is that means that the stitching here will naturally have a point to pull against as I gather that sleeve cap. I did the same thing down at the bottom of the sleeve where it's going to be gathered to fit the band. So let's look at how that is going to work. I'm going to pull my basting stitches until the sleeve is the same width as my band. And notice with the basting stitches down here, I started 1/2 inch in from each edge. That's because that is the seam allowance amount. Now that I know how much it needs to be gathered so that it matches the band, I can go ahead and evenly space. And once I have those gathers evenly spaced, I can place the band right sides together with the sleeve. And I'm going to use some of these Wonder Clips, but you could also use pins to hold these together. So here's my sleeve. You can look at it from either side with the gathers pinned to the band, and I want to stitch that seam. Because this pattern is for stretch fabrics, I still want to use a stretch stitch. If you were doing this with a woven pattern, you wouldn't need to worry about that. Once I have the sleeve stitched, here's what it looks like. So you can see I've used my serger. That is not the only way to stretch stitch. You can also do that on a regular sewing machine. This is what I chose to use though. So those gathers have been stitched into the sleeve, and I'm gonna leave it like this until I insert the sleeve in the bodice. So I've gone ahead and I have finished up my bodice. I've already inserted the neckband, etc. And I'm gonna open it out flat. I'm gonna go this way. And I want to place this sleeve right sides together with the arm side. And if you have notches, you match those up. So I'm matching up my notch here. And I want to match up the front part of the arm side as well. Let me turn this so I can work on it more easily. So now what I need to do is I need to make this edge match this edge. And you can see kind of how much I'm going to need to gather. So just like I did with the band, I'm going to pull the gathering stitches that I sewed in and get this to be the right length, and then I will evenly space the gathers. Now, if you want more of a pronounced puff just at the top of your shoulder, you would concentrate the gathering towards the center seam, the shoulder seam. If you want it kind of just evenly full throughout, that's when you evenly space the gathers. And again, you can use either pins or these clips that I'm using. You just want to make sure that that sleeve is correctly fitted with the arm side. Then I'm going to take this over to the machine and I'm going to stitch that arm side seam. Here is what my sleeves look like once they're sewn in, and now I need to remove those basting stitches. And again, I've serged this because it is a stretch stitch and I'm using stretch fabric. If you're not using stretch fabric, you don't have to worry about using a stretch stitch. So you can see how these are going to puff, and now I just need to finish up the side seams. So I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to match up the sleeve seams and the remainder of the side seam. And then on the sleeve itself, I need to match up these cuff seams. So you can see here is the seam I'm going to sew all the way up the side seam and down the sleeve in one pass. I need to do the same thing on the other side as well. Here's what this looks like once I've got those seams sewn. And you might have noticed on the machine that I basted these seam matches before I put this through the serger, just to make sure that they really precisely matched up and I didn't have seams offset in those spots. So the last thing left to do is to finish these cuffs here. Now, when I was showing you how I drafted the pattern, I didn't mention how wide of cuffs I did. So for my full scale pattern, I did 2-inch wide cuffs. That gave me a 1/2 inch seam allowance on either end, and it also gives me a 1/2 inch to sandwich on either side. So 4 inches equals 2 inches. That's how I determined the band width I wanted. And to finish the bands, what I'm going to do, and this process would be the same whether this was woven or like I did knit, I would fold up the raw edge 1/2 inch, and then I want to fold it down just enough to cover my seam line from the previous pass. And then I can pin around to double check that I am just barely past the seam allowance. And there we go. And to finish this, what I would do is I'm going to stitch in the ditch from the right side. Because this is a stretch knit that I am working with, this is a place where I need to use either a short lightning bolt stretch stitch or a longer zigzag that is narrow, or a triple stitch. One of those three will work best to get it the stitching kind of in the ditch there. If you prefer to use a cover stitch or a twin needle, I suggest setting it wide enough where one needle is on either side of the seam instead of trying to hide the stitching. All right, y'all, here's what this looks like when it's finished. You can see I've stitched this band in place, and that has finished it inside and out, and it still stretches. I used a lightning bolt stretch stitch on my sewing machine to do that finish. And then that's it. And you now have a shirt with puff sleeves instead of fitted sleeves. So for more pattern hacks that you can use on all different kinds of patterns, check out this playlist and see some more.